Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about emailing and more generally how to communicate with your community using the emailing feature from Springly. So before we drill down into how to manage your emailing list, how to create templates, how to create an emailing campaign, so to say, first there's a few things. There's actually one thing that you need to verify before is whether the communication feature is activated. In order to do that, you will just go to as always, to the bottom left corner of your screen, to the settings center, to make sure that the right feature is activated. So that's the settings center, bottom of it, bottom left corner of it, manage features, click there. And you just want to make sure that email campaigns here is activated. Once this is activated, when you go back on your platform, you will see the emailing feature that will appear on the tab on the left. So if you click there, there's three modules, three tabs: email campaigns, templates, and list. We're going to go through each and every aspect of it. But briefly, email campaign is really, once you have set up templates and lists, is the ability to very quickly, in a couple of clicks, create a campaign, select a template, select a list of an emailing list, and send out the campaign. Template is where you will be able to create as many templates as you want. If you want to send out a specific newsletter for donors, for example, another letter for members, another letter for your blog activity, etc., etc. You can really create as many templates as you want, as many newsletters as you want, and list is just the ability to create emailing list or to view and to manage emailing list that already exist. Let's first start by the emailing lists and how it's actually working. The lists, and that's the beauty of it and how powerful Spring is, the lists that appears within your platform are related, are synchronized with your community. If you have looked at the demo on the CRM, and if you haven't, I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you have not looked at it yet, you've got the ability to create groups within your community. All the groups that you have created within your community are automatically replicated within the emailing feature. So here, within the list related to your community, you will find underneath literally all the groups that you have created within your CRM. And each of those groups will create automatically an emailing list. So for example, I have created within the CRM a group called frequent donors that made more than one donation a year, or major donors that made overall more than $100 contribution over time, etc., etc. Those groups, those segments of people within your community, generate automatically an emailing list. That is very important. Um, apart from that, apart from those lists already created, you don't have to do anything, they are created automatically. You can, of course, two things. You can either create a new group that will then indeed create an emailing list, or you can import lists outside of your community, outside of your CRM, but it's just going to be like a list of emails that you want to send out a newsletter to. That is done very simply. You just create a list. Uh, you you add a name. You create a name for that list, and then you just copy paste all the emailing list within in that space here, and that's it. It is very simple. Allows you to import as many contacts as you want. Those contacts are not synchronized with your community. They will just stay as contacts within within the emailing feature. They will just stay here as an emailing list, and that's it. Just delete that list so you can manage all the list that way. Another thing that is very, very important. Within a specific emailing list, let's actually take a random donation of $50, for example. If you click there, you will be able to manage that list. So you will have all the recipients, potential recipients of that list, but more than the recipients, you will have all the contacts. And the contacts are broken down into recipients, unsubscribed, people without emails, invalid email addresses. Because indeed, within that group of people, you might have people that already manually unsubscribed in the past. So that ensures that they won't receive that newsletter again. Or you might have people that have a wrong email address. And that is very important because the system tags those people in order to reject them from further newsletter. Because if you keep sending email to the wrong email address or without a correct email address, invalid email addresses, for example, that will decrease your reputation score, which is very important because if you keep having low reputation score in terms of email sending, in the future, the entire emailing campaign might be rejected. So it's very important to keep a very good reputation score, and therefore to reject automatically people that have a wrong email address. So the system automatically categorize those people, notably the invalid email addresses. And what you can do very simply, if you click there, so for example, I have two wrong email addresses. One from Clint.judo, for example. So clint.judo@gmail.com does not exist. You can actually see the reason here if you want, but it's actually very important because straight away from that interface you can either correct that email address or you can also contact Clean on the side, not via email of course, but on the side. Go on his profile, see if he's got a phone number, for example, and call him just to make sure that you correct that email address. And indeed, for each and every invalid email address, you will actually a reason will be displayed by our emailing service provider that was enabled the first time to send out a newsletter. But there's also a verification that is done upfront when an emailing list is created. We run a verification to make sure that all the email that have been created within that emailing list are actually correct. Well, so that's very simply how to manage your list. And if on your end you receive a request from one of your members to be unsubscribed, you can also do that manually. You go in the recipients, and let's assume that Anthony Flores wants to be unsubscribed. You can simply select him and click unsubscribe, and that's it. Very good. And so he will then be unsubscribed. You just need to refresh the page. He will be unsubscribed from that emailing list. Well, see, 11, one unsubscribed. And in the future, you will be able also to resubscribe that person if you want. That is for the list. Now let's look at the template. As I said before, so you can create as many templates as you want. Usually you should create one template per use case. So if you send out a newsletter to your donors, one to your members, one for just a general newsletter with all the activity from your nonprofit, one that recaps all the events, the upcoming events of your nonprofit, etc., etc. You should create. I mean, I strongly advise you to create one template per use case, because then when you will send out a newsletter, you will just need to change a few things, and the newsletter will be already set up and parameterized. Let's dive right into a template to see exactly how to edit it and also to see the different possibilities. Let's dive into this existing template. So edit, and then it's a very simple type of CMS, content management service, that allows you to update, to change, and to customize the template. You can insert different types of blocks, of components, pictures, buttons, file, social media, text dividers, etc., etc. So as you can see, I've created a few things here. Buttons can be related, for example, to a campaign that you've created, or to a page of your website, for example. And then a few things that are actually quite powerful is the automatic fields. Automatic fields allows you, when you send out a newsletter to one of the mailing list from your community, to relate that a few fields of your contacts directly within the newsletter. So, for example, hello first name. So, if you send out your newsletter to all your community, each one will receive a newsletter with their first name, and basically you can relate to each and every field of your contacts of your contacts within your community. And indeed, I have here the exact structure of your database. So all the general information, all the and all the customized field that I've created. For each and every of those fields, if I very simply copy paste that code, so to say, within the newsletter, then it's going to appear within the newsletter. For example, within the newsletter, you can see that a few fields are used this way. There's user info 266.394. So what is it? If I go back there you go. That's actually this one. Are you willing to take part of two? So that's the name of the program that they're actually willing to participate to. So it's going to be the title of the newsletter will actually be name of the program and then it's the city, if I remember, of the city. So basically, as the title, they will receive program X in whatever, New York, for example. Dear John, this is so it allows you to really completely personalize the newsletter to each and every profile. Once you have created your lists and created your templates, now you're ready to send out email campaigns. So if you click email campaigns, we're going to simulate the creation of an email campaign, and then we're going to drill into one that already exists. So the creation of an email campaign takes 4 steps. Very simple. First, recipients. Within the recipient tab, the first thing is to select who should be the recipients of all the replies that you might get from the newsletter. So basically the contact within your organization, because once again, Springly is an outbox, but not an inbox. So through the platform, you're not going to be able to receive a newsletter, receive emails. You're just going to be able to send out newsletter. You select a subject, test newsletter program, for example. You then select one of the lists, one of or several groups. Basically, that's going to be one of the groups within your community. So let's assume all people from California, for example. Then you continue. You then select the template that you're going to be using. So you will find your customized template here, but you also got the possibility to choose among some of the templates that Springly has created by default, has pre-made by default. So it's completely for you to choose. Let's assume that we choose this one, program volunteering, that we have created together. Then you review the content. So you're redirected directly to the newsletter in itself, and whatever, you can change a few things. You can change a photo. You can change the text, of course. You can change the link or whatever. I mean, do whatever you want. That will not change the template. That will just send the newsletter in itself. Then you continue. You got a recap, a short recap. So it's going to be sent to 54 people. That's going to be the response. You can schedule the date to send the email campaign if you want, etc., etc. Let's actually save it as a draft. I'm going to send that later. And once it is sent, let me take actually the example of that newsletter. A few things. You've got some statistics here that are actually quite important because it allows you to check whether your newsletter was actually really delivered, whether you have some bounces, soft or hard bounces, very important, etc., etc. And also whether people have clicked on the newsletter, or maybe if people have unsubscribed from the newsletter. So those are general statistics. And then you've got recipient by recipient, you've got a status of delivery and of reading report. So whether it has been delivered, whether it has been read, clicked, opened, etc. So you might actually want to ping people that did not read it or read it but did not click on the links, etc., etc. You can literally play with it and then interact with your community. Voilà. I think this is it. It's actually very simple, not too complex. I just want to keep it short and sweet. Don't hesitate, of course. If you have any questions, you can use the help panel. You've got many articles explaining how the emailing is actually working. So if I type in emailing, you've got how emailing list works, modify or delete emailing template. There's like tons of things that exist on Springly about emailing in terms of articles, in terms of help within the help panel here. Voilà. I hope this is clear. Talk to you soon.